Good morning, friends. I'm Dr. Ragini Singh, and I warmly welcome you all to the Learning with Ragini platform. Today, we are going to discuss a very important topic that is a key component of the B.Ed curriculum's pedagogy section, and that is micro teaching. As you can see, here is a brief outline of the topics we'll be discussing today. So, let's move ahead accordingly and first understand what is teaching. Teaching is a harmonious relationship between the teacher and the student that inspires learning. There is a misconception that female teachers are better than male teachers or experienced teachers are better than inexperienced ones. But these are just myths because anyone, regardless of age, gender, or experience, anyone can be an effective teacher. The very existence of teacher training institution is proof that teaching can be professionally developed. Earlier it was believed that teachers are born and not made. But in today's world, just like any other profession, teachers are trained and shaped. After knowing the concept of teaching, we come to micro teaching. When we talk about teachers training, one term that stands out is micro teaching. Dr. Allen and his team played a major role in the invention and development of micro teaching. Actually, micro teaching is not a teaching method, it's a technique to master various teaching skills through self practice and self evaluation. Before diving deeper, let me ask, what kind of teaching do you imagine when you hear the term micro teaching? You must already have an image in your mind. Let's see how close that is to the reality. As the name suggests, microteaching is a teacher's training technique conducted for a short time among a small group of people, primarily focused on developing specific teaching skills. It's not only train student teachers but also helps experienced teachers to improve their teaching abilities. Now, let's try to clear its concept with the help of difference between traditional teaching and micro teaching. In a traditional classroom, around 40 to 60 students are present. But in micro teaching, the class consists of only 6 to 10 students. Now question arises, why only 6 to 10 students? Because micro teaching is not conducted in a regular school classroom. It is organized within teachers training institutions among student teachers as part of their pedagogy classes. Another difference is that in a traditional classroom, a teacher needs to use multiple teaching skills at once, whereas in micro teaching, the focus is on one skill at a time. In traditional teaching, class duration is 40 to 45 minutes, but micro teaching takes 5 to 7 minutes only. There is no structured feedback system in traditional teaching, whereas in micro teaching, immediate feedback is provided through various tools such as audio and video recordings, checklists, etc. I'll explain you these tools further. Traditional teaching is complex as it involves real-time classroom challenges. There are so many challenges in the classroom. In micro teaching, the environment is controlled, simplified, and focused on one task or skill only. I think after this comparison, you can now clearly distinguish between a traditional teacher in a regular school and a student teacher practicing micro teaching in a training institution. Let's now understand the main components or elements of micro teaching. The first component is student teacher. Do you have any idea who is a student teacher? You, the trainees in B.Ed program, play the central role. You are the student teachers, and your job is to develop proficiency in various skills. Next component is feedback tools or feedback mechanism. After teaching, you immediately receive feedback through video or audio recordings, written checklist or evaluation form, which is available in the form of questionnaire. This feedback helps you to identify strengths and areas for improvement, enabling you to reteach the lesson more effectively. Now the next component is skill, a repeated theme which we are discussing from the starting in micro teaching. A skill refers to the ability to perform a task effectively. When it comes to teaching, the specific skills we aim to develop are known as teaching skills. Some major teaching skills include introduction skill, skill of probing questions, skill of explanation, skill of reinforcement, blackboard work skill, lecture skill. There are other skills too, which we will explore in detail later. Now we will discuss the process of micro teaching. The process of micro teaching follows these key steps. The first step is micro lesson planning. Just like any small event, a teacher should plan the lesson. This plan is short as the micro lesson itself lasts only 5 to 7 minutes. Then teaching session. Here we deliver the lesson as per the plan within the given time, usually it's 5 minutes only. After this teaching, feedback. After the session, you receive feedback based on audio or video recordings, checklist or peer evaluation. This helps to acquire perfection. Then next step is replanning. If any gaps or errors are identified by subject supervisor or your peer group, you modify your plan accordingly. And after this modification, reteaching. Here you have to teach the lesson again using the improved plan. After this reteaching, again you get feedback. It means the time is for re-feedback. Receive in this session, you receive feedback again and continue this cycle until mastery is achieved for this particular skill. As you can see, this process goes on in a cycle. It starts with planning, then you perform the teaching for which feedback is provided. On this feedback, then you replan and reteach. Now again you get feedback until you get perfection on your skill. Therefore, this micro teaching process is called micro teaching cycle. I hope you are familiar with concept and process of micro teaching now. So it's time to understand its practical stages. Micro teaching is carried out in three main phases. First one is pre-active phase or knowledge acquisition phase. As the name itself is sufficient enough to explain the concept of this phase. Pre-active means a stage before the active phase. This phase involves observing the skills to be learned. The trainer may demonstrate the skill personally or through video. Student teachers do not teach yet, but observe carefully to understand the skill deeply. The next stage is interactive phase or skill acquisition phase. This is the core phase of micro teaching. Actually, this is the stage which you have learned during steps of micro teaching. Here, student teacher prepares a lesson plan, teaches the lesson, receives feedback, replans, reteaches and improves. This is where the teacher is fully active and focused on mastering a particular teaching skill. After this skill acquisition phase, the next stage is post-active phase or transfer phase. This is the most crucial phase actually. Here you apply the skills learned in micro teaching to the real classroom environment during your teaching practice or internship. This phase bridges institutional training and real life classroom application. Hence, the name transfer phase. After the discussion on micro teaching deeply, now it's time to know why is micro teaching important or what are the application of it in daily life. As you have observed, Micro teaching process is totally based on skill development. So it enhances specific skills, actually teaching skills in classroom teaching, also helps to eliminate common classroom errors. In this way, it builds confidence in student teachers, provides constructive feedback and expert guidance, which enhance the interest in learning, fosters a continuous learning mindset, not only in pupil teacher, even in experienced teachers too. Keep teachers adaptive to changing classroom needs and encourages lifelong learning. Thus, micro teaching is a powerful tool for teaching environment and self growth. Now, now, at the end of this session, we have understood the entire concept of micro teaching. Let's assess what we have learned. So, friends, are you ready for a quick quiz? Here, a few multiple choice questions are given below, which are based on today's session. Try to answer them carefully. If you find any question difficult, go back to the relevant slide or section and review it again, and then try to give the answer. Here, answers are also provided in this slide. So after your attempt, you can check your answer and assess your learning. I hope today's session helped you understand micro teaching and facts related to it. Stay connected with Learning with Ragini as we continue exploring the various teaching skills used in micro teaching in the coming session. Thank you.